What's up, everyone? Matt back for another Who Are They Real Review. And today I'm here to talk to you about the latest Amazon Prime Video film. That's right, Amazon Prime Video. They do make some pretty good films over there. And that is none other than Emergency. It's got RJ Kyleris and Sabrina Carpenter as the leads. And honestly, it's got a couple fresh faces to myself. But it's a film that's very much in the vein of Booksmart, uh, Super Bad. It's a very rated R coming of age story that you really unlike those films, I will say, this movie makes you think a lot more. Like this is a film you're like, well, shit. You're sitting there and you're like, wow, this it's powerful. And part of the reason of that is the subject matter it covers because you have three boys, all of whom are of different ethnic descents, two black, one Hispanic. You have Sean, Kunle, and Carlos. Sean, played by RJ Kyler, who, for those who don't know who he is, go watch Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. Go watch The Harder They Fall. And go watch the 2017 Power Rangers film. He was Billy the Blue Ranger in that. But it's just a story about three guys who one night on this big night they're supposed to go out party, enjoy the start of spring break. There's an unconscious girl who somehow wound up in their living room. They're all men of color. The girl happens to be white. So you kind of get this slapstick, semi-serious adventure about trying to figure out how to handle this situation, whether it be taking her to the hospital, dropping her off at some random party, taking her to the cops. But ultimately, what everything boils down to is the fact that we're brown men. And we can do that, but because we're three brown men and this is a white girl, it might come off a little bit suspicious no matter how we decide to go about things. And I thought that was really cool and really important because as an African American myself, there are plenty of times during this film I watched and was like, yeah, I've had that thought before. Oh, or, huh, that is the same way I would think in this situation. And it's kind of a wake up call. And you kind of get the two different sides of Black America. The one that is very aware of everything going on and the issues and what can happen with police in these situations, and one that is less aware, thinks, hey, we can do the right thing and everything's going to be fine, don't worry about it. And this film is ultimately those two ideals coming to a head, and then a wake-up call for one over the other about how the world really views us. And that was really important to me and powerful to me, and something that I absolutely loved about this film. It is funny. Let's take it. When I say super bad and Booksmart, it does have comedy along the way. Um, it takes place on a college campus, so there are some hijinks here and there, but it's so reminiscent in the fact of Superbad because these two friends have been together for so long, and they're at that point where their lives are starting to go on separate paths, separate journeys, but they're still trying to figure out a way to stay in one each other's lives. And that is really important because I think the bond between brothers, whether that be your blood brother or your best friend who you consider your brother, is always an important thing to cover in stories and films. So, Kunle and Sean are our two main characters. Then you have Emma, who's the knocked out white girl, sister of Maddie, who's played by Sabrina Carpenter. Sabrina Carpenter of her music career and Boy and Girl Meets World fame, um, does a great job of providing kind of the white innocence in a sense of or what neglect, in the sense that she doesn't understand some of the stuff that she's doing or the ways that she's thinking can come off as wrong or racist, and that kind of propels that side of the story forward. And it's just kind of mind-blowing and interesting that even now in 2022 we are telling these kind of stories. You'd think change would have happened by now, but I'm not mad about it, because ultimately what I'm giving this film right now is a 4.5 out of 5, because this may well be one of my favorite films of the year. Black stories are something that really mean a lot to me, and when they're told well, with heart, and being honest about certain situations we face in life, that's when they hit the sweet spot. So I am really proud of what this film was able to do. I will definitely be watching it again. You can see it in theaters this week, starting tomorrow, May 20th. But you can also be sure to check it out on Amazon Prime next Friday, May 27th, and just really take a minute to have some fun with it, and maybe pay attention to and listen to the message it's trying to convey. But with that, I'm Matt. This was another Real Review. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow everything we do over here at Waterloo Entertainment. And when you watch this film, be sure to comment what you thought. But until then, we'll see you next time.